Yes. So abrasive sponges out there which are underneath the pickle, all right? You do not get them wet. You use those dry at the very, very end, okay? If when you scrub your bowl, it will not clean adequately, throw it in the pickle, okay? Give it 5 minutes, take it out and scrub it again. You will have to neutralise the acid, okay? So you do give it another go with a sieve, all right? Now, we have got wings, okay? These are stilts that you make to your own spec, okay? So we've got meshes and things. Now, I didn't bring a huge number of these big ones. I thought it was only going to be 12 of you, and I didn't think a lot of people would do a big one, but anyway. This is how you do it. You make up, put them in. You've got little feet, okay? Whatever you do, don't bend the feet, okay? So you work out roughly where your angle should go in, and then you can position it so that that is steady. It's not going to fall off, it's not going to move, it's not going to do anything, okay? If it's not connecting with one of the wings anywhere, then we realign it, okay? That's for firing that way up. This is for firing this way up. Take a piece of mica. The only reason that's on there is to prevent you getting a grid pattern on the bottom of your copper, okay? It forms a barrier and keeps it nice and steady, all right? So it doesn't wobble because it's an uneven grid, okay? Now, depending on what you want to do as to how you start your piece, the most important thing of all is you protect what you want to see. So if your bowl is going to sit on a table, then that inside, you're looking down on it, is your focal point, okay? If it's going to be high up on a shelf, the outside is what you protect. So whichever side you want to see, that's the side you do first to protect it. Okay? Because the enamel, okay, once you've got your coat on that side, you have to go to the reverse side, whether it's inside or outside, and do 2 coats so that you can then go back to your side that you want to decorate or whatever you're going to do with it, okay, that is the side that you want to protect. Is that all clear? Mm-hmm. Right. When you come to do this in between firings, yes?
So the side that you want to protect, so you've got your plan of what you want to do, and you just, by protecting it, you're going to put the base layer of enamel, whatever that is.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be
Yeah, and then you've got to clean the other side because it will fire scale.
Yeah, okay.
In between each firing, once you've got one layer on whichever side you want to have your focal point, then you do 2 layers on the other side, and then you come back to your focal point. There are times when this rule is broken according to if you have some other more elaborate plan, okay? But basically, the copper is the meat in the sandwich, and it has to be balanced, otherwise you will have co-expansion problems between the metal and the enamel, okay? Now, when you fire, all your work must be dry down there. I put black paper on the wall so that if anybody is not sure about whether their work is dry or not, you can place it into the kiln, balanced on the firing fork for a few seconds, about 6-7 seconds, then bring it out. And if it stings, you won't see it against these pale walls, but you will against that black paper. It means it's not dry and you stick it back on top, okay? Basically, it depends on all of you what you want to see. I will guide you through the procedure of work, okay? If you write down your procedure of what you want to see and do, and then procedure of work, okay? So you have 2 separate things because you will change your procedure of work as you go because things will go wrong, things have to be corrected, whatever, okay? So leave spaces in between. But you basically, you have your idea and then you have your work, okay? And sometimes it'd be nice to do a little doodle or something to demonstrate that what you got in the end was actually what you planned, yeah? So it depends on whether you're looking for a breakthrough process, or you want to carve something, or you want to decorate something, or you want it to do its own thing. For example, this here, okay, is the same procedure only done differently, yeah? So this here is to demonstrate how you carve it. It's a wet process. Have you all done wet process? No. Okay, we'll do a demo on that. All right. You pour liquid enamel into this evenly, and you'll get it to dry. And then you'll take a scribe tool and carve your design into it, and then you clean it out. Now, if you let it do its own thing and don't carve anything, according to how thick or thin you pour that enamel, you will get a random design. Okay? And the random design, whatever you get is what you've got. There's no, you don't know what you're going to get, okay? All I can tell you is that by pouring it and swirling it around inside evenly will give you the best result. If you carve it, the more that you fire it, the more the design will open. See how thin these lines are here? That started off like that. Okay, if you make it too big, the line, you will end up with nothing. It will just look like black blobs at the bottom somewhere. Okay, so have you done bowls before? Okay, I'll come back to you, all right? The long and the short is, I need all of you to tell me what it is that you want to see in turn, and then I will give you a procedure of work, okay? What you do first and how you do it, all right? But for the moment, the other thing you need to be aware of is, when you do this, all right, you have to arrange your stilt as to which way up you're firing it, okay? So, if I'm going to shift the inside of this, and I'll show you the correct way to shift this, you would be firing it that way up. So your first one will be like that, okay, and it goes on there. But then when you've done that and that's fired, and you turn it over and you shift your colour on the back, then you would want it that way up. So you're going to have to put it onto the winged stilt, okay?
It's really important you do that before you do the sifting.
Yeah, to measure it off, okay? So that you know, yeah. Otherwise you've got something soggy, wet, covered in powder and nowhere to stick it, okay? So the other thing is, you will leave a naked bottom when you're doing that. And this applies for most shapes, all right? The naked bottom can be covered at the end so that you end up like that. But that's your last firing, upside down, okay? If you put that on there, it will bond with it and you will have a hell of a mess to clean up, okay? It just don't go there, it's soil and horrible, okay, right. It's not good. You can leave that permanently at what we call a naked bottom and take it home and polish it until it glows, okay? And then polish it up with something like Renaissance wax and it will stay nice and shiny for at least, what, 3 years? Something like that, yeah. The most important thing of all is avoid burn back and avoid burning your work. It's better to ever so slightly under fire your work and then do what I call a proper flambe at the very end, rather than really roast it all the way through. Because if your top rim gets burned back really bad, then when you clean it up, you won't see a nice copper rim on there. You'll have black charred brittle things, yes. It's not pleasant, it's not tactile either to touch. All of these things, when they're finished, you should feel nice and smooth, yes. All bowls are very tactile, they should be nice to handle, okay. You can leave things permanently, I haven't polished that one up yet, that was another little demo one. Or you can put a foot on it. Now, if you put a foot on it, you can fire it that way up or that way up. It gives you massive options, okay. So, personally I prefer feet, they're coming very useful.
Have you soldered the feet onto the copper bowl?
No. These are olives,
Right.
okay, plumber's olives,
Yeah.
okay? And I will do you a demo for those, okay, as well. You spray and you sift your enamel onto them and then you put them onto a piece of mica and you fire that separate in the kiln twice. Because there are bits that will not adhere first time round. It needs to have 2 coats to make it right, okay? When you've got that done, each time you must be careful. Whichever side is on the mica, remember it as the mica side. That is always your downside. That's what will go on the table. Do never, never, ever attempt to attach that onto the bottom of the bowl, because the mica is non-adhesive and your foot will cleave off, okay? So, You give these a quick rub up, okay, and then you would take a pair of pliers and you hold them, you spray them, and you sift it all over, and you put it onto one of those, and you fire it twice, okay, and you allow an accumulation of enamel on the top side. In between firing, you clean this side, so you know which is your mica side when you go to put it back the next time, okay. Then when you come to put this onto your bowl, okay, you take the accumulated side and some blue sticks, which I'll talk you through. You've got an enamel base on here already, and what you're doing is you're fusing this through sinking it into the 2 layers of enamel that you've already got there to fuse it, and that will go on there of whatever shape, right? And then you fire it that way up. Must be fired that way up, because if you try to fire it the other way up and anything tilts or floats, it'll tip over in the kiln, okay? And then we have another mess. So this really is important. You fire it that way up. When it comes out, when it's fully fired, you take a palette knife and you very, very gently just press it down, make sure it's on. After that, you can do what you want with it. You can fire it any which way you want, okay? It just takes the grief out of your life, okay? Now, some people like to have naked bottom and polish them up. Some people like feet, some people don't want anything except enamel on the bottom like that. So this is why I say, work out your progression of thought as to what you want to see, and then we begin and work through it, okay? Because otherwise, if you haven't got a clear idea of what you want to see, you'll have to change your plan halfway through, usually when something goes wrong, okay? Any questions so far?
Do they sell, you've got those, have you made those, or
No,
can you
these
buy them
are
commercially?
plumbers' olives.
Olives,
call it
I thought you
olives.
said olives. I didn't-
Yeah.
Just any
Um,
plumber's hardware store
Oh,
will sell
right.
them,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Screw
Yeah.
fix.
An olive,
You can
yes.
get 22mm ones very easy, right? They're cheap and cheerful. But these ones here, 35mm, or God forbid the 50mm, then you have to order these. They don't just come off the shelf.
Basic like joining pieces for your
like
copper
some-
plates.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I mean, they go from teeny weeny right up to large, okay? I doubt anybody's going to use a large one today, unless it's on the bottom of one of those. Now, enamels. We have got a selection of fluxes and colours, all right? Go through them. In your mind's eye, remember, you've got transparent and you have opaque. If you put on a transparent and it's direct onto copper, it will look like mud, unless you've got a flux underneath it, okay? The flux will throw the colour of the copper up, and then the colour that you put on will be reflected properly, okay? A lot of fluxes you can mix, make patterns in, there's all sorts of things you can do. If you want true colours to come through like that, then you put a layer of silver in there, over a flux, and then you would shift colours over the silver, and then do a design if you want to, or just leave it as colours, yeah? It's up to you what you want to do. In case anybody is a good painter here today, I bought some grisaille with me, if anybody wants to do a black bowl and then do some painting. White normally disappears when it's put over black, it just sinks in and disappears into grey whisper, okay? But this is grisaille, French enamel, specifically used for doing this kind of over black painting, or maybe or over black.
Grisaille.
Grisaille. G-R-I-S-S-E-E-L-L-E. If you want to do other kinds of decoration, that is just gold mica. You mix that with unimedia and you can paint with it. You can do anything. It's just a little doodle, yeah? You can just doodle whatever you want, flowers or whatever, yeah? There are lots of options.
Does that like flips over afterwards then? It's sealed on?
It's sealed forever.
Yeah. That means you put another coat over that?
No. No, it's the very last thing that you do. It's mica based, a mica like fire scale is the enemy, okay? You don't want it in your enamel, you don't want it to contaminate, cross-contaminate anything. You mix that up, and when you paint with it, only the very small amount that touches the surface of the enamel, it bonds with. And you'll look at it and think, oh, there's loads of it still on there, it's not cooked, right? You want to leave it, it doesn't. It takes normal firing, and then don't touch it. Wait until it's absolutely cold before you touch it. Because if you take a palette knife and think, oh, is it on, and do that, you'll have a nasty smudge because the powder on top will knock sideways, right? It really is, it can be a little treacherous, but if you handle it carefully, it will behave. The thing is that all of you need to tell me what is it you want to see, what is it you want to make, rather than give you all a blanket task, because you're all individual, you all have different ideas, yes? So tell me what it is you want to see, and then we'll work out how you do it.
Are you going to go around us individually?
Yeah, talk.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
It's all
question.
right.
I want to make like the inspiration is a mushroom with spores on and then gills. So I want to do like base layers with yellow and white crackle and nude as my top covering,
Right.
and then I want to put some lumps around so that they slide
We got
onto the out. I've got some lumps with me,
Okay.
and then on the inside I want to do the threads so they're like the gills of the mushroom.
Yes.
So that's the
Yeah.
way. That's my thought.
No,
That's my
absolutely
idea.
fine. Okay, you're going to have a naked bottom or a covered bottom?
Naked bottom.
Okay, fine, right. That's absolutely fine, that's straightforward. So you need to get, your focal point is going to be which? How you gonna
Probably the inside with
Right,
the
so you're
gills.
going to do that first.
Right.
Okay, so your rods are going to go in. What is your background colour inside?
It's going to be storm blue, which is
Blue,
the
a
Thompson.
mushroom.
Yeah, well, it's nude. Sorry, I've got nude grey,
Right,
Thompson's nude grey. So that's going to
Okay.
be the inside of it.
right,
And then the outer edge, the mushroom that I've taken the inspiration of is like a yellow mushroom.
okay.
So it's going to have the nude grey underneath with white crackle, and then a transparent yellow on the top.
Okay.
We all ought to do that.
I've done a pendant,
Right.
so I've tested the colours on a pendant, so I kind of know.
Okay, well then get your first one inside and then two of whatever you're going to do on the back,
So
and then come back to the front. And your naked bottom, are you going to make a dolly to peel off, or are you going to use a scalpel to slice it?
I don't know what you mean.
Right. First off, okay, let's do this. We will do a demo for. Okay. I'm just going to do this on the outside and then knock it all off and then do the inside, okay? Because otherwise it's not going to make sense. Right, okay. Now how am I going to do this? Spray where?
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, that was the point, because we haven't got.
I've got a plastic tub that I was going to spray into onto a chair. Do you want to use that?
Well,
we
not
could do
no.
with the spray more
The
really.
main thing is not, because it dries, the main thing is not to spray it over your enamel, but to spray it on the floor.
Yeah.
I could ask Charles to bring me a couple of cardboard boxes if you want to set up.
You can carry it
I
outside.
thought the sink was going to be in the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you'd bring two big cardboard boxes, so there you go.
Right.
Right.
Right. When you spray,
We can set
okay,
up a spray wall here with magazine paper, just so you've got something that doesn't matter.
I was going to spray into the bin.
Okay.
Right, but, yeah, if we go on the floor, I'll clear it up. But this is 1/5 clear fire, the rest water. Okay, so it's a good strong mix. Okay,
1/5.
1/5. Okay, not two. It works. Okay, it has to be. So when you spray, you want a very fine mist on there. Okay, you don't want great big globs where it's running off everywhere. You just want it to look misty. Okay, like that. All right, and then see what you're doing. Okay, always start with your outer edge. Okay, and you work your way around. Okay. There's loads of shiny paper over there. You never use dry paper. And you do all that like that. Okay. And you spray it again. Now some of it will do a little avalanche on you. Make sure that it is sprayed properly. And whatever happens, the very last thing that you do before you put that up to dry is, no matter what procedure you're going, you make sure that it has had a last spray. Okay? Because I promise you, when it dries, if it hasn't had a last spray, it will all fall off in the kiln. Okay? And if that happens, it's not the end of the work. I put extra kiln fibre already burnt off and it's underneath, so we just change the, yeah? There is an apron there, heavy duty one, if anybody wants to use it. Now, I haven't made a paper dolly, right? Normally you use some of this paper, you cut the perfect circle, and you glue it on. And then you shift over the whole lot. And then you take a scalpel, and you lift your little bit of paper, okay? And you take that off and you dry it, okay? So,
See. No, I'm with you.
there is a quicker way. You take a scalpel, okay? And very carefully, remove. Make sure you have a nice, neat, tidy edge. So that there's nothing there that's going to bond with the mica when you fire it or anything else. Okay? The reason for doing that is so that when that's fired, you can then turn it that way up and it will stay.
Right.
Now, you could, if you wanted to, spray the inside of this bowl and shift the inside and fire the two together at the same time. And that would negate the problem of the fire scale. However, not a lot of people are that dexterous. It's wicked to make these students do that, it really is, okay? So, you know, clean any excess off there, and that is now that, okay? Right. If you're going to shift the inside, and you repeat the procedure, but then you would have to hold it like that, okay? And that's a whole different thing altogether.
So, but you could use painting enamel, couldn't you? That just dries.
Sorry?
Tom, you could use painting enamel, just paint the, not painting enamel, but
Liquid
wet
enamel.
process, yeah.
Yes,
You just paint
you
it
can,
with
we've got wet
process.
process,
Yeah,
we've got
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, but you could do that on one side and
You can do,
do
yes,
this.
you can. The only thing with putting wet process on the first coat, if it's an opaque, that's fine. It's not got the same lustre or shine finish
Right,
as sifted enamel.
right.
It's not as pure a product, okay? Anyway, that is that side done.
And then you
okay?
put that on mica.
Yeah. No, you fire that one.
Oh,
that
you're
way
fine.
up. But then when you come to do the
Yeah.
other side, then yes, you would have that on there and that, okay?
So if you fire each layer,
Yeah. So you
Individually.
would do the inside your focal point, you do the inside first. Okay, it was only to demonstrate this with the
Yeah,
foot.
right.
Okay, so that is that one, all right? Now, and you can see it's not falling off, okay, because it's had a proper spray, and I'm not exactly being gentle with it, okay? So if you're going to then do the inside of a bowl, any bowl, same thing. Little bowls, I don't get squirt like that, and then take out the excess, okay? Otherwise you're not going to get enough enamel in there, okay? Then start at the top, and turn it and turn it and turn it. And keep that going at a steady pace. And you see, I didn't go to the bottom, but the bottom's covered, yeah? And then give it another work from up here somewhere, because you don't want to knock it all down to the bottom. And it's exactly the same principle of both. There's a thin bit, then go back, fill in your thin bit. That's it. How many of you make cakes? Do you plastic sugar? No, exactly the same. All you do. Okay. Nice even cold. So that's that. Okay. And then we'll put them up to dry. and we'll find them, all right? Now, when you come to put this on here, do not attempt to hold the edges like that. Hand inside and lower it down. Now you don't touch anything, okay? Any more questions? Right, you've got your game plan, what's yours?
Well, I've got on the inside of the bowl, so the bowl is, I don't know, doing the inside. I want to do 2 hairs, like a rabbit hair.
Right, yeah.
So I've got
Freehand or freehand?
No, I've got them on a piece of paper, cut out hairs. So I was
Okay.
going to stick them on the bowl
Right,
in the inside. Well, first of all, I was going to do a layer of flux, okay,
Right, yeah.
over the whole of the bowl.
right.
Then I was going to stick my 2 hairs into the inside of the bowl with paper, just wet, damp.
Inside, outside.
Oh, well, I found enamel the outside.
Yeah.
When I get back to the
Yeah.
inside, put the 2 hairs inside the bowl and then do the background to the hairs.
Right.
Then I could remove before
What are
I
the hairs
fry
made of?
paper.
All right, I'm with you, right, okay.
Right. Paper, what do you call them? Paper stencils.
Stencils,
That's a
okay,
good
right,
one.
okay.
Or stencils.
Right,
Right, and have that. And so do the background then. Lift the stencils off and fire it.
fire it and then come back.
And then come back, and then I've got another stencil which has just got that, so I cover the hair so I can then do the inside.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
And I've got black line painting if you want it.
Right.
You detail outline of the eyeballs and things like
Oh.
that. Yeah.
Oh, does that have to be at what temperature is that?
That's fine up to 28, 30.
Oh, right, okay.
And it's you just mix it with Unimedia, it won't burn out, and it will give you definition detail where you want it. You just mix it up on palette knife by painting.
Right, brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Oh,
So I'm doing I have 2 ideas. I thought, is the plan to do 1 bowl today?
You can do what you want.
Okay, well, I've got 2 plans. I thought maybe when one was cooling, it would look fun.
Yeah.
So one of them is a crackle, they're both crackle. One is using zero crackle on the outside would be a base of barrel greens and then a layer of crackle. And then I'm gonna use liquid over the brushable liquid over the crackle base. And then a combination of several transparents on that
Yeah.
to get the breakthrough and cracking. And then some gold luster, the sort of dots on that.
This is basically a Deborah McDonald wave recipe, yes? Have you done that? No.
It's not gonna be waves.
No, she teaches it on waves, it's all right, but the process you're talking about
Okay.
Right.
It's similar to yours.
is similar to that, so
Okay.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and then
Yeah,
I was
that'll
gonna
work.
do the barrel green on the inside
Yeah,
also
yeah, yeah.
of that one. And then the other one was gonna be 6 alternating areas around the outside of white and black crackle base.
Okay.
And then layers of Prussian blue transparent and a white opaque or a black opaque, depending on what the base was.
Right,
And then on the inside would just be flux.
okay, that'll work. Foot or no foot?
What's that?
Foot or no foot?
No foot.
Right.
And naked base.
Okay, now that's a good recipe. Yeah, okay, right. Those of you that we've discussed, you're getting on with it.
I brought these when I took my
Okay.
I brought these a
Can I
while
just
ago.
actually, before anyone moves away, I should have done an intro before you start talking. My bad. A couple of things. Because everyone is going to be sifting, there's going to be a lot of enamel in the air. So please, no food and drink in here whilst we're working. If you want a drink, you're very welcome to go get tea and coffee, but please drink it in the kitchen or whatever. Obviously, we will break for lunch and eat in here, but whilst sifting's going on, please no drinks. The other thing I wanted to say, it is standard health and safety rules. I think everyone but you, Phil, have you been here before? You have been here before, so everyone knows the routine here. But we're working with bigger pieces, so they stay hot a lot longer. Please try and be really sensitive when you're moving around the room. We've got the big cool down area in the far corner under the window, so there's plenty of space there to leave hot bowls that come out of the kilns. So don't bring them back to your table until they are cool enough, because if you walk into someone else, you're going to hurt them. So please be sensible with that. I don't know if there's any other safety stuff you want to.
You've all got a health and safety sheet on there, have a quick look at it, make sure you all comply with it. Is there a one-way system in place here?
We've got the room to do a one-way system. I think it's probably a sensible idea.
Whatever.
Yeah, up that wall, back down this wall, please.
Yeah.
That works.
What else were we covering at this point? Anything else?
And the other thing is the kilns, because it's bigger pieces, they are that much hotter when they come out of the kiln. We've got heavy-duty gloves up there. Please use them when you're manoeuvring your bowls. And finally, when you're opening and closing the door of the kilns, bear in mind that other people's work is on the top drying. So be gentle with the kiln doors. No slamming them closed because you've just damaged other people's work.
That's a really relevant point. Now, the two blue kilns, the SE2s, okay, they do not have normal door latches, okay. They came with magnetic doors. And the problem is that when you close them, they go dong, and it shakes everything. So I took the magnets out and off, and they have top latches. They are really delicate and very, very gentle, and you just open and close. Nothing moves, okay? And the Pro 7, the one that looks like it's been roasted somewhere, used to burn it on fibre, unfortunately. That has got an up over, and it will stay balanced on the top if anybody needs two hands to be steady when they're putting anything in, okay, or out. And again, don't just boom, shut it, slowly, yeah. But that's it.
Are any of those set higher than normal for doing higher temperature, higher?
I think they're all set about 850 or 860.
The guild one was set at 8.6.
Okay,
So
that's good. If you need it to be lower, open the door for a few seconds. By the time you put it in, it will drop to 800 easy, if not lower. If you wanted it to go higher, just leave it in longer, because if you take it to 900, then that's a whole different class, and we're talking high firing, and you're making enamels do crazy stuff, which is not, you know, you will get done bits then. The object of this exercise is nice controlled artwork, okay? Not random flambe.
Glue stick. Yeah.
This here is glue stick, alright? Do not leave the lid off. It goes off like in microseconds. This Chinese side, now that we've ground all that mica away from, okay, is where it will sit onto the surface. The side that we have the accumulation, you're going to go round, okay? You're using a microscope, alright? It's really teeny amount, okay? You don't want too much of this stuff because it catches fire. And if you've got a great big dog, it will blow itself to kingdom come and explode. Yeah?
No, it's all right. It's fine. It's only a little bit.
Now, you have to imagine where is the middle. Okay, now you can measure this up if you want and mark it off accurate, okay, or you can sort of decide where you think it is.
It's years of practice, isn't it?
And we do something with it, it's not bowels. Right. And yeah, if we think that's in the middle, and then if it's not in the middle, we redo it. But this will bond in seconds, alright? So, what I propose to do is take a cocktail stick, take it to the edge, and then mark with your thumbnail or something where you think the edge there is, and turn it round. Yep. Your bowl is ever so slightly oval.
It's organic. Organic.
So we're going to move it ever so slightly to one side, okay, to compensate for that, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. And then when it bonds, all right, very gently and very carefully, if you want to, you can take it off and turn it that way up and see if it looks right. On the other hand, you can pick it up and look at it. Does that look like it's in the middle?
From this edge it does. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, right. You dry that for 10 minutes on top of the kiln and then you fire it, proper full fire. When it comes out, you take a small palette knife and you very, very gently just press. I mean so gently, as if you were touching a baby's hand. It's really, really gentle. Yeah. Now don't do that. Really, really, really gentle. Seriously gentle. Okay? Done.